Okay, so currently it's a beautiful day out. It's a little bit windy. It is warm and sunny for now, but some bad weather's coming. But we're going to run down to one of the local farm stores and go ahead and get some grape plants to go ahead and put up there at the trellises. And I'm going to get some kind of potting soil to mix in there, some manure or compost or something, so that I can give it a amend the soil there, because there is a lot of clay in there. There is a little bit of decent topsoil on that part of the ground where I'm planting the grapes, but it is still not the best, and I want to give the grapes the best opportunity I can to get them to grow properly. So let's go ahead and get 3 different varieties, and we're going to get 3 plants each for the grapevines. Okay, so I struck out at the farm store. They did have some of the grapes, but I am definitely after some Concords, and they only had 2 there, and they look like dead sticks to me. No green on them whatsoever. So we're gonna go check out one of the big box hardware stores and go to their garden center and see what they've got. I did have to pick up some brackets there at the farm store, so I got those. Okay, so I went to the big box hardware store, and they did have 3 varieties that I wanted. They're probably not the best looking plants, that's for sure. They are, the way they're packaged, they're kind of dormant. At least I hope that's what's wrong with them. They do not look the greatest, but you can get plants from other places. You can get bare root that are dormant and plant those like that. You can grow them from cuttings. I'm kind of a little behind the 8 ball here. I should have got started a long time ago with this, but since I didn't, I'm stuck with what I'm stuck with. And I was kind of planning on planting grapes next year. I just want to get everything ready for it. But I thought, you know what, I'm right at the tail end of the season, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try now. So we're going to go ahead and get these things prepared and get them planted and keep an eye on them and see how they do. Okay, so I got my grapes out here. These are seedless Concord. I picked them up at, the big box store, like I said, and they don't look all that great, but a lot of times they're just kind of dormant and they will come back. I got to soak them in a little bit of water before I plant them. But what I'm going to do is, in my area here, this ground I run through with the tiller, and then I drilled my holes for the post, put the post up, built the trellises, and now I'm going to take a little spot right here in the center between my posts. I'm gonna dig a little hole there, and in my wheelbarrow here I've got probably about a quarter of a bag of sphagnum peat moss, and I'm gonna put some, this is cow manure and compost. I'm gonna mix a little bit of that in there with it and put a little bit in here. There is already some organic matter in this soil, so it's not too terribly bad. There is a lot of worms in here, which is a good sign, which means there is organic matter there, because that's what they feed on. So I'm gonna take my pitchfork there, dig up a little spot and mix up some of this soil that I'm going to put in there, and get these grapes planted and get them watered in. I've got 9 plants to do here. I'm going to put my seedless Concords on the back row, my red grapes in the middle row, and my white grapes on the end row there. Okay, I've got my grape taken out of the box, and I've got it soaking in some water, and I'm going to go ahead and put some of this my compost sphagnum peat moss mix in there, sphagnum, however you say that, and get it mixed in. I don't want to put just that in there. I want to blend in some of the native soil too, so I'll get that all mixed in there, and then I'll get the plant planted. All right, there's a lot of clay in the soil, which is not ideal for grapes, but the only way to get rid of it is to mix other soils in with it, and it'll eventually break down and become a better garden soil anyways. Now when you plant these, you got to plant it, there's a joint in the plant, kind of a knuckle right there, and you want to plant that where that is just at the surface. Get the roots spread around there. You don't want them all bound up inside of it. Pack that down a little bit and then water it in. And really the only thing we can do now is hope for the best. Okay, I got all 9 of my sticks planted out here. I've got 3 Concords up there, 3 red grapes here, and 3 white grapes down on the lower end. And a little dirt under the fingernails, but I really worked that peat moss and manure mix in with the soil. I worked it in by hand. That allowed me to pick out a bunch of the chunks of clay and rocks that were in there. I could feel them and pull them out. And hopefully I got a really good blend of soil now, or at least something that's going to become soil, because right now this is dirt and not that good of dirt either. So hopefully it will make these little sticks grow. All right, guys, the grapes are all planted. This is actually a week later, and you know, I was kind of worried about these plants. I picked them up at the big box hardware store, and they did not look very good at all. The Concords are planted up here on the highest mark, and then I think the reds are here in the middle, and the white grapes are down here on the end. And they actually, a week later, I amended the soil. They've been watered regularly, and they're actually starting to show some signs of life. I actually only had one that had leaves on it, and those leaves have really opened up and started to grow pretty good. I've got another one up there, one of the Concords, that's actually got some leaves on it now too, and most of them are showing buds except for the 2 Concords on the end, and I think one of the red grapes here in the middle. But that's planting grapes, and the only thing I can do now is hope for the best, and so it is what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching Homestead, Ohio. Get out there and plant something.